हरले सर. हरले सर,
हाँ सर.
have you talked with the Dr. Rajan Wankar sir?
Yes, yes, I have given him a link. He will join very soon.
Okay. So I think before our guest will join now this student meeting, I request to the participant that if 2-3 participants can just share few words regarding this STTP, so they can raise their hand and they can interact. Das sir, you want to say something?
Wankade sir has joined now.
Yes, he joined now, just now.
Welcome sir again.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon sir.
Okay.
Welcome sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and then just I say that we will start that now.
Okay.
Participant will join by the time.
Okay, sir.
Or if you
So how was the previous lecture?
I have sent you some of the questions.
Yes, sir. I got your questions on the mail.
Yeah, if possible, whatever area was there, you can
Yes.
address that.
Yes, sir. So shall we address the question now or shall we
Yes, sir.
address after the lecture?
As you say, as whatever you feel comfortable.
Okay. So I think we will start the presentation now.
Yes,
We will
sir.
end the presentation in 1 hour and then I will answer all the questions.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday's
Yes.
question I am going to answer. So we will wait for 5 minutes for the participant to join.
Yes, sir.
So I will share the PPT.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think it is 2:40. So shall
Yeah.
we start, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please start.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we will start. I will end the presentation in. I will end the presentation in 1 hour, and
Yes, sir.
then we will have some question and answering.
Yes.
I have your yesterday's question on my mail. Okay. So good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yesterday, we discussed regarding the important provisions of IS 1893 Part 1. So in IS 1893 Part 1, I presented the provisions regarding the general specifications and for the specification of the buildings by using the seismic codal provisions. Now today, I think Professor R.K. Ingre sir and O.R. Jaswal sir have taken the lecture, and they have talked on the other parts of the IS code. So IS 1893 is divided into 5 parts. So first part about the general specification and the building, and other parts for the water tank, liquid storage tank, retaining wall. So moving ahead, today I am going to discuss regarding the soil structure interaction. So soil structure interaction is one of the specific criteria to consider for the loose soil, dense soil, such type of soil where the interaction between the soil and structure occurs at the foundation level. Now, when there is the fixed base, fixed foundation, the soil structure interaction do not play a role. But as the soil changes, as the property of soil interfere the structural base, that is the foundation, the soil structural interaction is to be taken into the account. So the presentation is divided into the part. In first part, I will discuss regarding the basic concept of the soil structural interaction, how the equations of the soil structural interaction can be modeled, how the structure is modeled using the soil structural interaction. Because at the modeling phase, we have the structure and it is resting on a firm strata or loose strata. So how the firm strata fixed base is represented, how the base is represented by the interaction, that I am going to cover, and that is the another part of the presentation. So we will move with the basic definition of the soil structure interaction. Yes. So the figure is for the structure and is resting on the soil strata. And hence, for going to the basic definition of the soil structure interaction, we can say the soil structure interaction is the process in which the response of the soil influences the motion of the structure, and the motion of the structure influences the response of the soil. It is termed as the SSI, that is the soil structure interaction. In this case, neither the structural displacement nor the ground displacement are independent of each other. Means the displacement of the structure due to the induced earthquake vibration is is directly depend on the ground shaking, and hence both are dependent on each other. As the ground shakes, the vibrational forces or vibrations induced by the ground is transferred to the structure, and hence displacement caused due to the vibration are dependent on each other for both the structure, the upper structure and the soil beneath it, and hence it is the soil structure interaction. Now we generally design the structure, or we generally consider the traditional structural engineering approach, in which we do not consider the soil structure interaction, and hence in that case we only consider the fixity as the base that is the rotations and displacement both are zero. Means we do not provide the translation at the base and rotation at the base, that is the fixed base. Or in another case, we can provide the hinges at the bottom. Hinge means the rotations are allowed, but translation is zero. That is the hinge. And hence, in traditional approach, we model the fixity, or we model the base of the structure as fixed or the hinge or simply supported, that is. But in case of the soil structure interaction, we can go for modeling the translation and rotation at the base of the structure, that is the soil structure interaction, and hence it is SSI. Examples for traditional structures are low-rise structures, simple rigid retaining walls, yes, and hence the codal provisions are not that that are included in ISO code, but the Euro code 8 and the JSC 2005, that is Japan Society of Civil Engineering. These codes have included the soil structure interaction specification regarding this approach, and hence P delta effect is considered for the soil structure interaction. P delta effect means it is the non-linear effect, and P delta effect is called as the large deformation effect. So Eurocode and GSC code both are having the special guidelines for the soil structure interaction. Now we have here the two figure. We will move to the basic concept of the soil structure interaction. We have two figure. The first is the frame structure or a structure resting on a rock, and second is the structure which is resting on the soil, and up to some depth soil is available, and after that depth rock is available as per our general sites cases. So in both the cases, though the structure is same, but the response of the structure is different in case of the ground shaking. If there is a rock and structure is resting on it, then the response of the structure and horizontal shaking will not be affected on the structure, and hence the soil structure interaction will not play a vital role in case of the first figure, that is the below rock and above there is the structure. Now the second figure is the B figure, in which the structure is resting on a soil and soil on the rock, but due to the horizontal shaking or the movement of the loose soil due to the expansive soil, the structural interaction between the soil and the existing structure takes place, and hence structure resting on a ground or structure resting on a rock have a different behavior than that structure resting on a soil, because the properties of the soil influences the structural response at the base of the structure, that is the interaction between these two soil structure interaction. And hence for this case we will have to consider the soil structure interaction when the soil is resting, structure is resting on the soil, and the influencing factors of the soil uh, affects the response of the structure. Now how the response or how the shaking affects the structure, that is mentioned here. Now we are taking the second figure, B figure, from the previous slide. Now in this figure, there is a free field motion of the top layer of the ground, that is the soil strata. This free field motion is independent of the structure here. Now if the structure is resting on the soil, the free field motion of the soil gets affected by the structural foundation. Now when there is a motion, foundation input motion and free field motion, that will be counterbalanced and they will affect each other, and hence motion of the structure at the base differ from the free field motion. The interaction occurs at the soil and structure at the point of contact, that is the base of the structure, and hence it is the foundation. Now the basic concept of the soil structure interaction. Let me check the volume. So, yes. The basic concept and the mathematical formulation for the soil structure interaction. Considering a building having the fixity as the base, and the mass, lump mass, is at the top, inverted pendulum. Now we know it is having, building frame is having the mass at each floor. It is having the stiffness. It is having the damping at each floor. Now considering the simple building frame, F equals to ma, force equals to mass into acceleration, and our equation of the force is F equals to K into delta. Force equals to stiffness into displacement. Now, if we want to include masses and damping, our equation will become as mu double dot plus cu dot plus ku equals to f of t, where m is the mass, mu double dot, m is the mass, u double dot will be the acceleration, plus cu dot, that is the damping, into velocity, plus ku, that is stiffness into displacement, equals to f of t, that is the force, and f of t will be represented by f of g, that is the force due to the ground motion. Now here we have the force, and it should be balanced by the bottom force for the equilibrium, and as it is having the displacement, and hence eccentricity will cause the moment, and hence we have the force moment. Now for this case, inertia depends on the base shear and moment, where V is the relative foundation free field displacement, V is termed as the UF, that is the displacement at the foundation, and M is corresponding to the relative foundation free field rotation. We know displacement is corresponding to velocity, because velocity is equal to displacement, rate of the displacement, dv upon du upon dt. Moment is related to the slope, that is the rotation. So these are the aspects of the SSI. Again, it depends on the type of the structure. Now consider this figure. The structure is resting on the foundation. Now we are taking the FBD at the foundation. Hence, foundation is resting on the soil, and hence soil foundation interaction can be represented by the springs. Here, these springs are not fixed, and hence rigid foundation is rigid, fixity is avoided. Now, in this case, if there is a displacement, it will cause the velocity. Vertical, in vertical direction, the springs are provided to cause the translation in vertical direction. In horizontal direction, spring is provided to cause the translation in horizontal direction. That will be the U, and hence it is the interaction for velocity. Now, if we consider the moment, moment is resembled by the rotation, and hence here the foundation is rotated by some theta amount, causing the moment, and hence the spring will have some delta at this point, another delta at another point, and theta, and hence the velocity and moments are to be considered at the soil structure interaction, and corresponding equation have to be formed. Another figure, the same effect for UF and theta, that is the UF means displacement at the foundation, and theta means rotation at the foundation. Displacement causes the velocity, theta causes the moment. Now damping is also there, and damping is caused by the damping factors which are governed by the foundation which acts at the wave source. The figure represents the FBD at the base due to the displacement causing the velocity. The second figure is for the rotation causing the moment, and this is the figure which is shown for the damping, and damping is for the waves at wave source at the foundation, because there will be a dampness, and that damping means opposition to the motion, and hence this damping opposition to motion is caused by this foundation. Now we have seen the basic concept of the soil interaction, but yet we have not seen the how this soil interaction is modeled. We only seen the soil interaction is caused due to the interaction between the soil which is present below the foundation. Now there are some effects of the soil structure interaction on the structural response, and hence we can say that soil structure interaction effects alter the natural frequency of the structure. If we consider a structure resting on the firm ground, then the natural frequency of the structure resting on the firm ground is different than the natural frequency of the structure resting on the soil. For example, if we consider the soil structure interaction, a soil structure interaction makes a structure more flexible than a rigid, and thus it increases the natural period of the structure as compared to the corresponding rigidly supported structure. So soil structure interaction increases the natural period of the structure. This is the first effect of the soil structure interaction. Now second is the soil structure interaction adds damping to the structure. Soil structure interaction adds damping to the structure by means of the foundation present above it, and hence considering the soil structure interaction, it affects or it increases the damping ratio of the structural system. Also, the soil structure interaction affects the dynamic response of the structure. If we consider, or we can say that the soil structure interaction can conventionally be neglected for conservative design, which are neglected for the normal design having the fixity at the base for the rock available at the base. Now in simplification is varied for certain classes of the structure. Low rise building, steep soil is available, then we can avoid the soil structure interaction concept for modeling the structure and having the effect of damping velocity and moment at the structure. But however, the stresses can have a determinal effect on the structural response, and neglecting SSI in analysis may cause disaster for the structure which are resting on the loose soil, where the superstructure is resting on the foundation and foundation rests on the loose soil. Now we have the detrimental effect of the SSI, that is the soil structure interaction. An increase in the natural period of the structure due to SSI is not always beneficial as suggested by the simplified design spectrum, but we need to go for the simplified approach using the soil structure interaction, where we can check whether the natural
सर शेअरिंग पीपीटी बंद झालेला एकदा.
पुन्हा करतो शेअर.
Yes, now continue.
Okay. So the assumption of this social interaction is that it increases the natural period of the structure. Now, if the natural period of this structure is increases, and due to the seismic waves, the resonance of the resonance can be occurred with the ground vibration, and we know we always avoid the resonance, and hence the soil interaction and its modeling can be taken into consideration not to increase the natural period of the structure. The ductility demand can increase significantly with the increase in the natural period of the structure due to the SSI effect, that is the soil interaction. The permanent deformation and failure of the soil may further aggravate the seismic response of the structure. So these are the detrimental effect of the soil structure interaction. And while modeling the structure with the soil structure interaction, we will have to consider these two effects. First is the not to increase the natural period and hence avoid the resonance, that is the first. And second, the ductility demand should not be that much significantly increased. So we should take care of these two factors, resonance and ductility demand of the structure. Now we have the soil structure interaction, and it is classified into this type of interaction. The first is the inertial soil structure interaction, second is the kinematic interaction, and third is the foundation interaction. Inertial force equals to mass into acceleration, and inertial should be considered, that is the one type of interaction. In kinematic, velocity, that is the considered, and response velocity, the velocities of SPOs, PVs, LVs of the ground shaken are to be considered, not only in the horizontal direction but also in the vertical direction, that is the uh, translation in horizontal and displacement in the vertical, and the waves and its velocity are to be considered, that is the kinetic interaction. Third is the foundation deformation. Foundation means it is having the sufficient area resting, or sufficient mass of the area, sufficient area having mass, and is resting on the ground at some specific area, that is the foundation. And interaction is called as the foundation deformation interaction, as the SSI, soil structure interaction. Now we will see all these three type of interaction. Inertial soil structure interaction. For the case, the mass is resting, and mass causes the inertia forces due to the shaking, that we know. F equals to ma, mass into acceleration, and F is called as the force, which is the inertial force. So there is the inertial interaction and inertial forces in the structure, which is transferred into flexible soil by the foundation. Inertia from vibration of the structure and foundation causes the foundation translation and rotation, that is the displacement delta term as UF and rotation term as the theta F. It directly affects the system flexibility and mode shape. Mode shape depends on the fixity and the displacement, and hence both are dependent on each other, and hence if there is the inertial interaction between the soil and structure, the flexibility and mode shape will get different than that of the normal structure. The inertial soil structure interaction introduces the foundation damping. The figure shows a structure resting on the massless soil. Soil can be expansive, loose soil. There are the different types of the soil. Inertia forces applied to the structure and foundation. Mass, that will be the equivalent mass converted to the lump mass system, and that will be at the center at each floor for the some storied building. So due to the inertia force, there is a shaking, and that force will be balanced by the ground motion. So F should be balanced by the FG. FG will be at the bottom, and translation is caused by the UB, that is the displacement at the bottom. So this is the representation of the lump mass system of a building over the foundation, that is the soil. The kinematic interaction is caused due to the ground motion. Kinematic means there can be a velocity with respect to the dependent time. We have the equations for u, v, acceleration. Now in terms of the our equations, for general fixity, we consider only the force into delta, or k into delta equals to F. But if we consider the kinematic, we will have to consider the equation of motion, that is the mu double dot plus cu dot plus ku equals to F of t plus minus F of g. U1, that is the velocity of above structure with respect to the U2, both depends on the ground motion reduction with the depth, and hence it is called as the kinematic. The kinematic interaction takes place due to the two different velocities, because the velocity of the induced ground motion will be different, that may be larger than the velocity induced at the structural interface. So both are different, and the difference can be taken for the modeling. Yes. So kinematic soil structural interaction has the three primary causes: the base slab averaging, embankment, embedment, and the wave scattering. Now base slab averaging results from the stiffness of the foundation. at the base. Embedment means variation of the ground motion with the depth, and wave scattering means scattering of the corners and edges due to the induced vibration. The figure is shown for the base slab averaging. The stiffness of the foundation prevents it from matching the free field deformation. Free field deformation occurs when there is no structure, but if there is structure, this free field deformation should be matched with the foundational deformation, and it should reduce the free field deformation by virtue of the soil structure interaction. As there is a mass of the foundation, the free field deformation will be reduced. Now, foundation can be a shallow foundation. Foundation can be a deep foundation. Now, if we have a pile foundation, if the pile is rigid and if the pile is flexible, vibrations are induced in the ground, and if the pile is the flexible, deformation of the pile matches the free field deformation, and hence the difference between the deformation of the pile and the difference and that of the actual ground motion will not be that much significant, and hence surface motion equals to free field motion, free minus field motion of the existing structure, and hence no rotation at the surface will be occurred. Now, if the pile is the rigid, deformation differs than that the free field deformation with corresponding to the actual deformation of the foundation pile. Now, hence there is the translation, and hence there can be a rotation, and hence surface motion is not equals to free field motion, free motion minus field motion at the surface interface. Rotation and displacement occurs at the surface. So this is the for the deep foundation in terms of the pile foundation. Now, ground motion, we have the velocities, S waves, P waves, and L waves velocities. The ground motion amplitude decreases with the depth. If there's a vertical propagation of waves, those are called as the shear waves, and hence vertically propagating shear waves can cause the rocking as well as the translation. Now, we are having the two phenomenon here. First is the rocking, and second is the translation. In simple way, translation will be denoted by delta, that is the displacement, and rocking is termed as the torsion. In simplified way, we will call rocking as the torsion. Now, in many of the reference paper, we will find while modeling the soil structure interaction, the displacement and rocking formulas are available. In simplified way, we will call the translation as the displacement and rocking as the torsion, or we can call it rocking as the rotation about the z-axis. Rotation about the vertical axis is the rocking. General figure, when the load of the superstructure comes on the ground, and due to the inertia for foundation deformation, it causes the excess settlement, resulting in the differential reaction at the both corner of the foundation. That is the case when there is a foundation having sufficient depth. Now, if there is the soil and soil is deformed by some amount, the deep foundation in terms of the pile have the translation and rotation. The first figure is shown for the foundation having sufficient uniform depth, but due to the settlement is causes the differential soil pressure. In the below figure, the pile is deformed and have some rotation as compared to the top surface, and hence it is the differential deformations applied by the soil. So this is the effect of the soil structure interaction. Now, we generally go for the piling. We provide the depth of the pile up to the point where the hard strata is available. Now, consider the soft, weak, compressible soil is available in the different layers. So, in this case, for poor soil, we have provided a platform, and that platform as a foundation is raised on the pile. Now, this is the pile group having pile caps at this end, and these piles are resting on the hard strata. Now, though there is a hard strata resting, this pile resting on the hard strata, but the soil is there, skin friction is there, then the motion, the waves of the soil affects the foundational, this deep foundation, that is the piles, and it causes the transition and rotation of this pile because the pile are having the sufficient depth. Of course, due to this, the load is acting on the beneath horizontal translation, reaction will come at the bottom, can be counterbalanced by the force and then moment with corresponding rotation that will be available. Now, if we have the deep foundation, how the deep foundation is to be modeled using the soil structure interaction. For modeling the soil structure interaction, we cannot have the fixity at the base because it is not a fix, and hence in that case we will have to provide allowable translation, allowable rotation at different interfaces, and those allowable translation and rotation can be modeled by equivalent spring. So here the equivalent springs are provided at different levels. Now here this figure shows the spring, the downward translation, another spring in horizontal direction, horizontal translation, and then this represents the damping. This green type rectangular plus vertical line, this is for the damping because it is having the damping also. So all this can be modeled by equation of the motion. When there's a pile group and the uneven settlement decreases the axial load for potential pull out, or it can increase the axial load by potential bearing failure at the base of the structure. And hence for this modeling we have the TZ, QZ springs and TY springs. So TZ, QZ means it is in Z direction and TY means it is in horizontal direction. So we will see how to model the soil structure interaction by virtue of the suitable example. So I have included one example in which we can model the soil structure interaction by providing the springs and giving the specified value of this translation and rotation to the spring by virtue of the soil properties. Objectives of the foundations. So calculation of the vibrations of the massive foundations of heavy machines, that is it evaluates the movements of the foundation under the action of the external load. So these three figures are shown for the soil interaction which is applicable to the dynamics of machine foundation, a traffic and earthquake. Now consequently anticipate the displacement of the machine taking into account the characteristics of the foundation and the properties of the soil is one of the objectives of the foundational SSI. Now degree of influence of the SSI, that is the soil structure interaction and influence of degrees of freedom. So degree of influence of SSI is response of the structure depends on these factors, and these factors are the stiffness of the soil properties, then dynamic characteristics of the structure resting on the soil, that is the natural period and damping factor of the structure, and stiffness and mass of the structure. So these are the influencing factor which influences the soil structure interaction. So while modeling soil structure interaction, we will have to consider stiffness of the soil. From stiffness of the soil, we will have to model the base, that is the we can call as the boundary condition at the base by the virtue of stiffness of the soil. So SSI problem definition. We can say that the earthquake ground motion causes soil displacement, and this is called the free field motion as we seen earlier. So this type of instability of the foundation to match the free field motion causes the kinematic interaction, because the mass of the superstructure transmits the initial force to the soil, causing further deformation in the soil, which is termed as the initial deformation. Then there can be a a damping of the elastic medium. So these problems can be termed in the soil-structure interaction, and hence it defines a specific problem of the soil-structure interaction. There are some methods which can be used for the analysis of the structure by using the soil-structure interaction. So am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Because there was no response, so I thought, and actually I am not able to read the chat box also.
So
Because
you can click at the bottom of the chat box.
Okay, so
Everything is going well, and then participants are listening to clearly.
Okay. So now I will explain the method of analysis, and there are two methods for method of analysis using the soil-structure interaction. The first is the direct method, and second is the substructure method. So for direct method, we can model the structure by having the direct formulas of interaction, and in substructure method, two structure will have to be considered. One is the structure above the soil, and the another substructure below the existing structure, that will be modeled as the second structure. And hence these are the two methods. We can use any of the methods for modeling the soil-structure interaction. Why we need to model soil-structure interaction, that we have seen, but how to model, that we will see now for the soil-structure interaction. So direct method of the soil-structure interaction. The figure shows a building frame resting on a soil media. Now, the soil media is having the large area. How much area should be considered for the modeling? That is the one part. And how to model this is the another part. Because we want the effective area of the soil, which is used for the free field motion and counterbalancing the free field motion with the existing motion of the structure. And hence soil media up to what area should be taken, that is the one question. And hence in the direct method of analysis for such interaction, the structure and foundation is modeled together using the tools. So one of the tool is FEM. Some softwares are there which we can use. In FEM, we will have to consider the effective area of the foundation, and effective area of the foundation and structure both will have to be modeled as a complete structure by giving different properties at top and different properties at the bottom soil media. That is the one approach. The ground motion is specified as the pre-field motion, which is applied as the all boundaries. The nodes along the soil-structure interaction are denoted by subscript F in this figure. That is the foundation. UF, theta F, that is the U at foundation, theta rotation at the foundation. U double dot G is for the, what is U double dot G? It is the acceleration at the ground. U double dot G means acceleration at the ground, and the force will be depending on this acceleration at the ground. Elastic half space model is used as the direct approach for modeling of the soil-structure interaction. For general approach, we only use the building frame, and we fix the base of the frame by providing ux, uy, uz equals to 0, theta x, theta y, theta z equals to 0, by providing the specified boundary condition of the fixity, by providing the uv, ux, uy, uz, and by keeping theta x, theta y, theta z equals to 0. That is the simplified boundary condition. But in direct approach of the SSR, we will have to consider the elastic half space model, that is the model for the soil beneath the foundation. The same figure by having the equation MA CV plus KX equals to MG. So what is MA? Mass into acceleration. A can be termed in terms of X. Now we have equation when we do not use the dynamic equation, we will use only Kx equals to Mg. Kx equals to Mg means Kx equals to F. Mg is force, mass into acceleration into gravity, if you can say. Kx equals to F, that is the static. Now for dynamic, we are considering Cv plus Ma. So CV means CX dot and MA means MX double dot. So KX plus CV means CX dot C dx upon dt plus MA means MX double dot M d2x by dt square. So that is the equation. Now mg can be termed as F plus F of g. That is the force on the structure in horizontal direction plus F of g. That is the force at the ground, force due to the ground motion. Foundation media is considered here below the foundation. Interaction or interface is considered over this area. This structure is modeled. That this structure can be modeled with the inverted pendulum having different degrees of freedom at different levels. UG double dot acceleration. So that this UG double dot will be present here. Now this MA can be termed as MX double dot plus minus MU double dot G. This equation can be MA can be changed to MX double dot plus minus MU double dot G. So that U double dot G can be added here. Damping is already present. Now if it is undamped, C this term will be 0, but it is damped, we'll have to consider C plus X dot. There are some disadvantages of direct methods. The good representation of the damping matrix is difficult by using the direct method. Now, if the superstructure is modeled by the 3D system, the problem size becomes very large and the modeling of the soil foundation structure becomes interaction becomes the complex. That is the disadvantage of the direct method. And hence, to overcome the direct method, there is another method, that is the substructure method. Okay. So in substructure method, one structure is resting on another and both these structures are modeled separately by providing the interaction. Now it is the computationally more efficient than the direct method of analysis, as the most of the disadvantages of the direct methods are overcome by the substructure method. In this substructure method, the effective input motion is expressed in terms of the free field motion of the soil layer, and it is initially considered while the modeling. In continuation to this step, the soil foundation medium and the structure are represented as the two independent mathematical model as shown in the figure. One model is independent, it is independently modeled. The second is modeled, and the second model consists of the foundation part with the soil. G is the acceleration due to gravity. The S is the above structure. Now the forces which are induced in this substructure can be transferred to the another structure, and then another structure will be analyzed and it will be modeled by having the reaction of this structure over this above structure. So there will be two forces. One is the reaction from this. So this will be oppositely modeled here. So that force will be provided here, and then relative displacement and rotation can be provided here. And by providing this structure can be modeled and this structure can be analyzed. So that will cause the effect of this substructure on this existing structure, and that will be the actual model of the soil structure interaction. Different figures are shown for the soil structure interaction. The free field motion here. Now it is counterbalanced by providing the structure on it, reduction in this, and this interface between the first and second can be provided by this structure. That is the upper structure below. Now damping caused by this is provided here. Translation rotation caused here, that will be provided here, and that will be applied in opposite direction to this portion of the structure. So that is the substructure 1 which we want to analyze and we want to design, and substructure 2 is for the soil interaction, and then modeling this part by providing this spring and damping at this junction, we will model the structure for soil structure interaction. Now comparison between the direct analysis and indirect substructure. Suppose this I type of structure resting on the foundation media, the foundation and then piling is there. Now for direct analysis of the method, as we seen, provide the translation rotation in terms of the springs and the stiffnesses at the different level. Now the piling is having some 10 meter to 15 meter depth, divide into 3 to 4 part, and at each level provide the translation, rotation, damping at each level in TZ direction, QZ, and in PY direction also. Means it is in three-dimensional effect is there, and this induces vibration, and the translation and rotation are to be modeled for the soil structure interaction. Now, if we consider the substructure modeling, in substructure modeling, instead of considering the entire entire area of that piling or the foundation, convert this into equivalent spring stiffnesses, and equivalent spring stiffnesses will be provided at the bottom of the foundation at your support by providing delta x, delta y, delta z, then theta x, theta y, theta z in terms of this rotational spring and this translational spring with the damping. So this is the actual modeling of this substructure. There are different approaches for this modeling. The approach says that cut the piles at the mudline and replace with the spring dashboards. That is the equivalent stiffness spring model. Apply kinematic pile motion at the mudline to preempt of horizontal vertical rotational springs. That is the spring modeling, and compute the resulting responses. That is the SSI modeling using the substructure. Denoting the modeling by using the spring, we have a building structure resting on the ground. Effective area of the soil is considered here, and we want to model the soil structure interaction for this frame. As usual, we will convert this into the equivalent masses with the inertia, first level, second level, third, fourth level, up to the bottom. Now, bottom will also have to be modeled for the vertical rotation, translation, damping, and horizontal translation and damping. So this part shows for this horizontal translation and damping both available. Here, rotational spring with KR, a translation spring is also to be there, and then this is CR is the damping. Moment mass M0 and inertia I. These are model. So at this point, it is model for the soil structure interaction at this point, and the upper portion is model as same. We go for the general modeling. So this is the equivalent modeling in terms of the rotational spring, translation spring and damping at the bottom. So this total part one and this second part together consist of the soil structure interaction by terms of the modeling. If we don't have soil structure interaction, simply keep this as a fixed end. U0, theta 0 in all direction. That will be the fixed base, but base is not fixed. It is the having effect of soil on the translation rotation, and hence provide the equivalent rotational spring with damping, translational spring with the damping, and hence this full bottom part will be considered as the soil structure interaction modeling. That is SSI modeling in terms of the equivalent springs. For this modeling, we have the different methods. One of the method for the analysis of the structure using the SSI is Winkler approach. Second is the PY method, that is the P delta method. Elastic continuum approach for the soil beneath, and finite element method. Finite element method using the generalized software is easiest way because both can be modeled by providing the meshing. Only we will have to consider the area of the soil with respect to some depth. That is the FM modeling. Elastic continuum approach, continuous media, and it will have to be modeled. PY, large deformation. And in Winkler approach, we will see the Winkler approach, how the Winkler approach is used for the modeling of the building frames. Now, in the previous figure, we have seen this. Suppose this junction is the base. Now, if we have the fixed base, we will provide only fixity here. No need to provide this rotational spring and translational springs. What is the meaning by rotational springs? it is for the theta x, theta y, theta z, and this is for ux, that is the ux corresponding to kx, and fx will be kx into ux. Now here we have in this direction, that is x direction, we have in y direction, and we have in z direction. So you can term this x, y, and z also as per the your notations. In this equivalent spring model, we have kx, ky, kz, that is the stiffnesses of equivalent soil spring. So this spring is called as a soil spring. Why soil spring? Because there is a soil beneath the foundation, and above this there is structure, and at the base of the foundation we are providing the spring, and that spring resembles as the soil, and hence it is called as the soil spring. Soil spring is uh, we can say it is acting as the soil media. This soil spring will act as the soil media, or soil spring will play a role of soil, and hence for playing the role of soil, this soil spring should have that properties of the soil. Now how to convert the property of soil into the spring? Because spring is having the stiffness, that is the k, and hence k will have to be formed by the formula of the soil. We will see it how to convert this formula, means how to use the formula to calculate the thetas and rotations by using the equivalent springs model, that is the Winkler model. KRX, KRY, KRZ. Now you have understood stiffness for equivalent rotational spring, that is rotational, and this is translational. So this is the formulas for the spring stiffness given by George Gazetas. This spring stiffness formula is given by George Gazetas, and these spring formulas can be used for modeling the soil structure interaction at the base. So we have water over the boundary conditions. If we have the fixed beam, what are the boundary condition for fixed beam? For fixity, we have boundary condition as ux0, uy0, uz0, or generally u0, theta 0 means fix. If we have hinge, what is the boundary condition for hinge? Displacement 0, but rotation is present. If we have roller, what are the boundary conditions for the roller? For boundary condition of the roller is delta is allowed, means horizontal translation is allowed, but vertical delta is 0, and theta is present for roller. In the same way, we will have to model the equivalent spring at the base, not fixity. Now fixity is removed. Fixity is removed by providing the spring, and this spring should have delta x, delta y, delta z by some value, theta x, theta y, theta z with some value, and that will model as a soil structure interaction. Now degree of freedom, as per our generalized notation, we have translation x means theta x, translation y theta y, delta x, translation y delta y, translation z delta z. Now rotation theta x, theta y, theta z, and in some of the previous slide we have seen this word torsion. This torsion means rotation about z. Okay, so these are depending on this formula twice GL 1 minus mu 0.73 plus 1.54 x to the power 0.75 with x equals to AB upon 4 square. So what is AB? AB is the area of the foundation. B, capital B and L is the half width and half length of the foundation respectively. IBX, IBY and IBZ are the moment of inertia of the foundation area. Now by using this formula, we will have to calculate this delta x, delta y, delta z, theta x, theta y, theta z, and these deltas, 3 delta and 3 theta, that we will have to specify at the your foundation. After specifying or after giving this amount of delta and theta at the foundation, that will be termed as the soil structure interaction by means of the equivalent spring stiffness formula. So I have included this study for a multi-story building where we have compared the different stories building using the soil structure interaction. Now we have modeled this building using the SAP, and how we have converted the equivalent stiffness formula for this frame, that I will show you how to convert this formula into the delta x, delta y, delta z, theta x, theta y, theta z, and how to model it in the software, that I will show here. Consider the building frame with different stories, having zone factor 0.16, that is resting in zone 4, impulse factor 1, R factor as a 5, as per the IS 1893. General taking, consider building of size 12 meter by 12 meter, floor to floor height 3 meter, that we know. Parapet height 1 meter, slab thickness 150 mm, wall thickness 230, and 20 Fe 415 steel. Now for this type of structure, if we consider the 4-story, 8-story, 12-story, and 16-story structure, this is the plan of the building frame, 3 bays and 3 bay in X and Y, front elevation. Now for this, if we have 4-story, 8-story, 12-story building, and we have column sizes at 230 by 600 mm, for different stories, different sizes for column and beam. Now, instead of having much attention on the figure, now I will show you how we have converted the equivalent spring stiffnesses, how we have calculated and how we have provided for modeling in the Winkler approach of soil structural interaction. Now we have considered the different soil properties. Generally, we know we have hard soil, rock soil. So if there is a soft soil having a different modulus of elasticity, that is the lesser modulus of elasticity than the hard soil, medium soil, hard soil, rocky basalt, and fixed. The soft soil having modulus of elasticity less than the another. Now Poisson ratio are different for all type of soil. Shear modulus lesser for the soft soil, higher for the rock basalt. Unit weight lesser for the soft soil, higher for the. Now in terms of the fixed base, why the terms are kept zero? Because for fixed base, we will not have to calculate the delta S and delta Y, because deltas are zero, and hence we have kept this as a dash, that is the zero already. Now for this different type of soil, we have calculated thetas and thetas and deltas. Dead loads, we know how to calculate dead loads. Okay, thickness into density for this slab, volume into density for the beam, volume into density for the column, adding all with the floor finish and adding the lie load over it. Lie load on all the floors 3 to 4 kg per meter square, on the roof 1.5, generally taken as per the IS 1893-13920. So we can calculate dead load and lie load as per our regular practice, calculating all load and providing over the slabs, beams, reaction at the column, all we have provided. Now we will go for the modeling of the base. How to model the base? Different load conditions. Now the main part is soil structure interaction and is modeling with respect to the equivalent spring stiffnesses. Now we have equivalent spring stiffnesses and we have the formula. Which are those formula? So we have seen this formula. I will go in the back. We have this formula for stiffnesses of soil spring, that is modeling the soil beneath the foundation in terms of the spring and providing these spring stiffnesses in terms of the translation XYZ direction, rotation XYZ direction, and this is calculated here. For loose soil, for medium dense soil and rock basalt, and all these calculated by the formula. Now if we want to use the software in SAP, we have modeled this, and in SAP you select your that base, that is the bottom most of your column where we provide the fixing. At that you right click, you provide the joint spring, and for that joint spring you provide these values. For loose soil we have delta x, delta y, delta z, theta x, y, z. You provide first value here, you provide second, third, all these values here, and where you have provided the spring, you replace this spring by existing spring. Now the existing spring in your model will be replaced by this spring having this property. It indicates, or it means that whatever calculation we have carried out for one type of soil, that type of soil is modeled as a SSI by using equivalent spring model using this software. Now for second medium dense soil, you replace these values by these 6 values. You provide these 6 values that will contribute the interaction or spring stiffnesses, equivalent spring stiffnesses for this type of soil. For dense soil, use these values put here. These values are calculated by using the general formula as provided. For rock basalt, use this and you provide this. And hence, for all 4 types, you provide this value at once and go for the normal analysis. Your structure will behave as a soil interaction for this value of the soil stiffnesses for that type of the soil beneath the foundation. After modeling, we will see this type of foundation having equivalent spring, both spring having the rotational, translational degree of freedom in terms of the soil structure interaction. Now we will go for the modeling using IS 1893. So for that, we will have to specify response spectrum if we want the vibrational characteristics in terms of the frequency and natural period. So now our model is ready. By having these equivalent stiffnesses provided at the base, we will get this type of the figure where we have modeled all this. Now this type of phenomena is called as the Winkler approach for the spring model of SSI, that is soil interaction. Now provide the response spectra, use seismic zone, use the soil type, loose soil, hard soil, dense soil, provide here. Use the time period versus acceleration data, and from that you form your spectra. And for this spectra, you go for the dynamic analysis. You find the result. We will get the bending moments, shear force with respect to the soil interaction of this. Now here whatever forces, reactions we will get, that will differ from the normal structure with having the fixed base, that is a fixed as base. And here the fixed is at base is removed by providing this equivalent spring stiffnesses. Now this model is resembles at the soil interaction model having the Winkler approach of equivalent spring stiffness. We can see the base model, Winkler approach. The time period is less for 4-story than 8 and 12 story. Now we know frequency F equals to 1 upon T. Now our assumption that it increases the frequency is proved. Time period is less means frequency is more. For higher the stories, for having the greater number of stories, the frequency is much for the lower story, and time period is increases as we go for the number of stories as higher. Podal method and the RSA, response spectrum method, response spectrum analysis, RSA, we have found out the time periods for both, and we have compared the time period, modal time period, by using the different types of the soil. So we have FX, that is fixed, LS, loose soil, medium dense soil, DC dense soil, and rock soil. So all these 4 types, we have found out the time period and we have compared it for the different modes. So when it is a fixity, time period is higher and frequency is lower. When we go for the soil interaction, frequency increases. Variation of the time period for different stories. So suppose it is a 4-story, we have variation for rock, dense soil, medium dense, and loose soil. If it is a 8-story, 12-story, we have again variation for fixed, rock. Fixed and rock are having the same value. Why it is having same value? Because in fixed, delta x, delta y, delta z, theta x, theta y, theta z equals to 0. And in rock also, values comes to be that negligible, means it is equivalent to 0, and hence fx and rx value are same because it is equal to that fixity. Now ds, mds and dense soil, medium dense and loose soil. In loose soil, it is higher the value because the soil is loose, time period increases, dense and medium dense. Base shear for different types of the soil. For fixed soil, rock, hard soil, medium soil, soft soil. So comparison for the base shear and its variation for 4-story, 8-story, 12-story building is made. In this graph, we can see for fixed it is less, whereas it is increased as the soft soil. If he increases the height of the building, that is for going from 4-story to 8-story, definitely 8-story will have the maximum seismic weight of the building, and hence maximum seismic weight of the building will contribute to the maximum base shear. That is, we can see here floor displacement for different types of the soil. Now, if we consider the 4-story building, it is having fixed soil, rock soil, dense soil, medium dense soil, and loose soil. So, loose soil is having maximum floor displacement, and it is also shown for different number of stories. We have gone from first story. Now, if we take zero floor, in zero floor also for fixed soil, it will be zero, but for loose soil at base, there will be some relative displacement, which is not shown here, but that this will not be exactly zero. This will be some relative displacement in some mm. So floor displacement for different stories. Floor displacement for a story building, the same we have observed. For 12-story building, the same type of pattern is observed for the story displacement starting from first floor to the 12th floor. So that was for the soil interaction. Now, one another approach is for modeling this structure with base isolation. So this is the building frame, which is a model using the base isolation approach. A G+12 building frame with base isolation. We have modeled the base isolation at the bottom. Now, for modeling the soil interaction, we have used Winkler's approach by using the equivalent spring. And equivalent spring can be provided with values of delta S, delta Y, delta Z, theta S, theta Y, theta Z. And these 3 delta and 3 thetas are calculated by using the formula of stiffness, by using the equivalent depth of the foundation and the values for the constant of the soil. Now, if we want to model the base isolation, the base is to be modeled for this type of isolation, where we have the lead rubber bearing, some different types of the bearing. So here we have used the lead rubber bearing to model the base. HDRB, LDRB, LRB. High damping rubber bearing HDRB, 554 is the stiffness kilonewton per meter. LDRB, low damping rubber bearing having 486 kilonewton per meter stiffness. LRB, lead rubber bearing. So what are these LRB, LDRB, HDRB? Lead rubber bearing, low damping rubber bearing, and high damping rubber bearing are the bearings used as the base isolation. So it is having the plates alternately placed with the rubbers, and those rubbers and lead plates, and hence lead rubber bearing. So when earthquake comes and it provides the ground shaking, at that place, when there is a fixity, the energy dissipates at the fixed end is high, and hence if you provide the bearing at the bottom, that dissipation of energy contributes to that bearing, and that lead plates and rubber breaks, and dissipation of energy takes place at that point, avoiding the translation of the energy to the upper story. So this is the concept for the rubber bearing. It has some properties as like the springs, bearing diameter, thickness of the rubber layers, then stiffness of the steel layers. So it forms a complete patch of the rubber bearing, and that patch, if we model at the base, and by having the dynamic analysis, we will find the mode shapes and its time period. So we have done this analysis and this study for G plus 4, 6, 12 story building. So this is for the G plus 12 building. We can see the mode shape when base is fixed and when base is having the rubber bearing, that is the base isolation. So we can find the terminal difference in the both the variation, both the structures having fixed base and rubber bearing, that is the isolation base. So these are some results for different modes for the frequencies, fixed base, different rubber bearings at the bottom. And this is the story shear in kilonewton for different rubber bearings LDRB, HDRB, LRB, and percentage difference between them. So we can find the maximum percent difference for these rubber bearings than that for the fixed base. Story behind this 1 to 13 is this level. First level, second level, and 13 is the top level. So we have some conclusion depending on the soil interaction study. So we have seen the frequency is increased, resonance can occur if you consider soil interaction, it should be reduced. The initial forces are increased if we consider soil interaction. For modeling the soil interaction, we will have the two methods. One is the direct approach and second is the substructure approach. In substructure approach also, there are another again different methods. We can use the FEM method. We can use the Winkler approach. Now, for these methods, we will have to consider the soil media below the foundation, and we will have to provide the interaction for this. So for this interaction, we will have to provide the base with the equivalent spring stiffnesses. And these equivalent spring stiffnesses will be provided by the translation and rotation by means of their specified values. And that will contribute to the exact SSI, soil interaction. And here, these are some conclusions depending on this study. The results which we saw, including soil structure model, have beneficial effect in case of the different soil media. Translation in acceleration having much effect as per soil structure interaction. The model with soil induced compared the conventional fixed base model has higher fundamental period of vibration, that is 70% higher than the 70% higher base state is having. The natural period of the structure increases due to the SSI effect that we have seen, and this we have verified in analysis also. We have the spring model. Group displacement we have observed it is higher for the spring model, that is for SSI. And we can have the variation in the shear forces and bending moments for the beams and columns for different story of the buildings. So this was the conclusion regarding this study. So I will stop here for explaining the social interaction and these different models. Yes, sir.
So one question is there in chat box.
Okay, sir. You can read the question.
Yeah.
Shall I go for the previous question, yesterday's question first?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This
Okay.
question was very simple. Just
Okay.
it is necessary to model the slab at the foundation level or not?
Slab at the foundation level. Okay. So it depends on the modeling.
Okay.
If you go for the FEM modeling, in FEM modeling, you will have to model the upper structure and you will have to model a foundation structure as a slab with a higher that depth.
Okay.
Equivalent depth you will have to consider, not smaller depth, and that equivalent depth will be higher than that the normal slab, and those will be modeled by using the FEM approach. So both the structure will have to be analyzed at a time that will give you the soil interaction. But for modeling of that slab at the bottom by using FEM approach, you will have to specify the values of density of the soil.
Okay.
That is the first. And again, you can go for equivalent stiffness modeling. Just give the spring stiffnesses in terms of the delta x, delta y, delta z, theta x, theta y, theta z to the bottom spring. Provide the spring and replace that spring by this spring. You will model it as a equivalent SSI.
Okay, sir. So you can take yesterday's question also.
Okay. So I think I have explained this that how to model the spring. But if you have any query, you can put me mail. I will share you this screenshot and that how to model that in the software SAP. Okay. I will read the yesterday's question. I have some questions from yesterday. I will read and I will answer those questions. Let me read this. Okay. From Professor Ravindra Golia, the question was there. SA by G normally depends upon the time period of the building. Yes, that is true, because SA by G depends on the time period and the soil. Three types of soil is there as per the our IS 1893 2016, and then for SI by G soil, and the time period is also to be considered. Time period to be calculated by using the formula 0.09 under root D for normal structures, and then if you have the shear wall, another formula, and for 0.75 d to the power 75, that is another formula. So by using this formula, you will have to calculate the time period. From time period, you will have to see what type of soil you are having, and then for that type of soil and that value of the time period, you will have to find SI by G. Normally, it is observed that for general structures, we find the SI by G for same type of that zone. SI by G comes to be 2.5. It is correct. I have solved some problems, but if you solve power 10 problem, many of times you will get the same SI by G ratio, that is 2.5. This is general observation. Now you change the data. Instead of normal strata, you use the very loose soil. Then you change your T. If you change T and soil strata and different parameter of the structure, you will get the different SI by G ratio that you will observe. But for that, you will have to take a different type of the data, or you go for the soil interaction type of the data, you will get different. Now, yes, one question was from Professor Ravindra Golia. He asked when it is mandatory to consider vertical component of earthquake forces. Yes, for solving the general problem of the earthquake engineering, we take a building frame having some base in X direction, having some base in Y direction, having some height, 3 floor, 4 floor, 7 floor. Now we solve the building. After solving the building, we find the seismic weight of the building W by adding W1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is WI, HI, height at the floor, 3.1 meter, 3.2 meter, 3 meter, and base adding the depth of the foundation. Now, while calculating the force, we calculate AH. AH is the horizontal seismic coefficient. Always we find AH. Very few times we find the AV. Now, there is a difference between AH and AV. AH is called as the horizontal seismic coefficient. AH equals to Z by 2 I by R SC by G. Now, what is AV? AV is the vertical component of the earthquake force, and ISO 1893/2016 have given different value of the AV. For value of AH, one formula is given, simplified formula, but for value of AV, there are 5 formulas. For building, AV is having same type of formula with different ratio of that Z by 2 instead of Z by 2. There's some 3 by 2 Z. So these formulas are 5 formulas for 5 different types of structure. And in what circumstances we should go for the AV? This is the main question. When there is the zone 4 or 5, if we are modeling the structure for zone 4 and 5, you will have to consider AH and AV also. So AV, vertical component of should be considered in zone 4 and 5. The first criteria. Second criteria, when there is a sloping ground, you will have to consider AV, because in sloping ground, at one column depth will be less and one column depth will be higher. So sloping ground, you calculate AV with AH, both AV and AH. For longer span of the structure, vertical component is to be considered, then that is to be calculated. If we have the bridge, for a bridge, you will have to calculate AV, and hence for a bridge, it is mandatory to consider vertical component of earthquake force, because the distance between or the span of the bridge is longer, you will have to consider vertical force of earthquake. So there are some five criteria where we will have to consider the vertical force of the earthquake, it is mandatory. Now the another question is asked by the Professor Mirza Abdul Saif Beg. Professor Mirza Abdul Saif Beg has asked a question: up to how much rod we can use in structure to resist from earthquake? The question is simplified as which diameter of bar is used for the structure to resist the earthquake? And the answer to this question is, as per the IS 1893 and 13920/2016, for beam, the minimum diameter of bar is specified as 12 for main bars.
12 mm.
Main bars, 12 mm diameter bar is specified by both the IS code. Again, I will put a glance on it. If we are using the column and the column is circular, so is it possible to use 12 mm and 60 mm diameter bars always? No, because for column we will have to use minimum 6 bars. For circular column we want 6 bars for the helical tees, and that 6 bars can be have the combination of 10 mm dia and 12 mm dia. So that is possible. But for beam minimum 12 mm dia, circular column 10 mm dia can also be used. Again, as similar to the diameter of the bar, there is a specification for the grade of the concrete also.
Yes.
I will put the glance of the grade of the concrete. Minimum grade of the concrete is used as the 20 M20 for normal construction and for zone 1 and 2. Okay. Now, if you go for the zone 4 and 5, for zone 4 and 5, restriction is made on the M25 grade of the concrete. For zone 4 and 5, you will have to use only M25 grade of the concrete. Again, if we are using the water retaining structure like water tank, the
M40.
retaining structure having the liquids, water tanks, waters, you will have to use M30 grade of the concrete, not M25 or 20. Use M30. This is the recommendation by the IS code, M30 for the water surface areas of concrete which is exposed to the water, and for rest use M25 for such a structure. Because we have the also for that reinforcement bar, keep in mind that minimum percent of steel should be 0.24 root of FCK upon F4 as specified by the IS code.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, one question was there. I will read this from Muhammad Mubashir Shahzeb. Professor Muhammad Shahzeb has asked one question: why stiffness modifier values is higher for the column than the beam? Yes. So when the earthquake of 2002 was occurred, that is the Bhuj earthquake, and those previous Latur earthquake was the Killer earthquake. At that spaces, it was observed that many of the earthquakes was occurred due to soft story and weak story. Lintels were not provided. Now, after conclusion has made that because at that time only one Bible was available and IS code was not specified and divided into number of parts. Later on, it was divided into number of parts. Now, for modeling of the structure, some guidelines were provided. Soft story, the strong column were were specified to design. Thickness of the column should be greater in the soft story. The same concept was applied to the weaker story. In weaker story, stiffness of the column should be greater than the beam, because beam takes the load of the slab, and load of the slab comes on the beam. Considering the area of the slab, it comes on the length of the beam. Beams plus self weight of the beam, load on the beam plus self weight of the beam comes on the column by means of the reaction, and some moments comes. Now, to counterbalance this reaction and moment, column should be sufficiently strong, and hence strong column weak beam theory was put forth, and hence stiffness of the column should be greater than the stiffness of the beam. It is the general criteria. So this is the answer to the Professor Muhammad Shahzab's questions. So though there are some specific guidelines given by the IS code, but while modeling your own structure, you will have to use some thumb rules, IS code guidelines, which are which are strictly recommended. Those guidelines, and then you will have to use your actual analysis report, your actual value of the bending moments and shear force, and some rotations also to counterbalance the forces. And for this, you will have to provide the sufficient area of the steel specified by the general recommendation. Minimum steel should be 0.25 or 24 under FCK FY, that is minimum, and maximum should be as per your calculations, that is the guidelines. Okay, so I have answered your question.
For today's session, there are two questions.
Okay, sir, you can put the question. I will try to answer this.
Yeah. So what is the effect of non-linear soil structure interaction on structure drift?
Okay. Yes. So we have the structural deformation, and if we consider the different type of analysis, we have the static analysis, we have the dynamic analysis. In static analysis, we have the linear analysis, non-linear analysis. In dynamic analysis, we have the linear analysis, non-linear analysis. In static, in earthquake, we have the response spectrum analysis. In dynamics, we have the modal analysis. Sorry, in static, we have the equivalent analysis. In dynamic, we have the response spectrum analysis, modal analysis. Now, if we consider static analysis, now instead of dynamic, let us talk on the static analysis. In static analysis, we have linear static analysis and non-linear static analysis. So non-linear static analysis is called as the push-over analysis. Now, if we consider the push-over analysis or non-linear analysis, due to the horizontal loads, horizontal forces, the horizontal displacement occurs at each level, and at each level, the horizontal displacement is different, and it is termed as the drift. It is called as the story drift. Now, story drift has the significant effect on the non-linear response of the structure.
Yeah.
Okay, so story drift is there. Now we will have to model for nonlinear analysis to consider the story drift effect. Now, if there is a story drift at different layer of the buildings, at different levels of the building, definitely some drift will occur at the soil structure interaction base, because there is a relative motion, relative displacement of the soil media below the foundation and the foundation level, and hence story drift is to be considered while the nonlinear analysis, because it is the part of it. I cannot say it is to be considered. It is already there. It is already how to be has to be considered. It is already
Considered.
considered in this. There is no question. It is mandatory to consider the story dip, to counterbalance or to consider the effect of the non-linear response.
Sir, one last question is there
Okay,
by Mohan Kumar Hampali. Whatever
sir.
the result conclusion you have shown there, the predicted natural period of the soft soil is more. So, but in
Okay.
case of based on reverse calculation.
Okay. So I can show the share the result also. We have gone for the modeling of the soil structure interaction model. So for this, we have used the Rinkless approach. In Rinkless approach, we have used the equivalent stiffness modeling by using the spring. And for this spring, we have provided the delta X and delta Y. Now, for this case, we have again considered the different types of the soil. So we have considered the different height of the building, 4-story, 8-story, 12 and 16 story. And we have considered the peak soil effects. Then we have considered DC, dense soil. We have considered the loose soil. And we have compared the result of each pattern with the another different patterns. So on I have mentioned this conclusion at the end of the that in some cases we find the less time period means frequency is more. In some cases we find the maximum time period, that is frequency less. So it depends on which we are comparing to what. If it is the G+4 building with fixed, and if we are considering the G+12 building with fixed or with the loose soil. So these are the calculation base and the comparison base. Those conclusions are based on the calculation and comparisons between the different types of the structures and the soils.
So thank you, sir. Very nice interaction you have given regarding the soil structure interaction and the actual real case study of that project you have compared in a very brief time, and it could have given the very good insight for that further designers can that use that concept where there we will get the chance for designing of this type of structure and soil structure interaction. So thank you once again for being with us for this today's session. And I will also thank you to all the participants today present here. And still the session is again, so it is going on from 1.5 hours, and then all there you are present here in this session. So I thank you to all that showing your good attendance and participation by asking the questions in this STDP. So I thank you once again, and all the resources will be shared you as it is available with us. And again in the today morning, again we will meet with the some another enthusiastic expert speakers, and we will have another third day for this STDP. So thank you, Rajan Wankhede sir. Dr. Wankhede sir has given us good insight for yesterday and today also. And in the forthcoming time, you can contact him in email, and then we will get some good things regarding this earthquake resistant design. So thank you, sir.
I will share my material also.
Yes, sir. Yes,
presentation
sir.
and today's presentation I will send you on the mail.
Yeah, yeah.
that you can share with your participants.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So I will take leave here, and
Thank
I will
you.
end this. Yes, I will take the leave. You can end the meeting now.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. Thank you very much.
So there are some participants, they are just now been entering or giving the attendance, I think. So there will be a feedback form again coming at 4:30, and then you can submit your feedback, and tomorrow see you again for all these sessions. And we are planning some of the few sessions which are very interesting and interactive. So the information regarding that will be shared through WhatsApp group and through mail also. So thank you for being with us for this today's wonderful session. Thank you again.